trying too difficult a piece and an insistence on perfection are sight reading killers. Okay? We're not going to push forward to something too difficult until you're ready for it. We're going to stay, like I said, on easy pieces. And we're going to do a lot of easy pieces. Don't rush ahead to something before you're ready. Okay? And don't be playing other things outside this piano method that are too difficult. We want to stay within what we're able to do. And we're not going to have an insistence on perfection. Perfection, you know, is great for some things, but not for this, not right now. At least not, well, I'll put that in the next point there. But we're not going to have something perfect before we move on. We're going to have pretty good. Okay, I played this one pretty good. Let's move on. Okay? Because if you stay on it too long and you insist on perfection, you get into that memorization cycle and you're not working on the sight reading anymore. Okay? So don't insist on absolute perfection. Okay? Pauses are okay when you're learning something. You have to pause to figure out what the next note is. That's okay. Those pauses will disappear as we become better readers. Alright. So let yourself off the hook. Next point. Emphasize quantity, not quality. At least whenever you sit down for your 30-minute practice session, we're going to have 3 parts. The first part is going to be the repertoire. And that's the time where you spend just playing through the pieces that you know. And remember, repertoire is what you can play right now. And right now that number should be 0. But as the weeks and months progress, you're going to have quite a few pieces right here that you can play through. And that'll always be what you do first. It's a great confidence builder to sit down and play through 10 or 15 pieces pretty well and get through them and do a good job at them. Really will make you feel good about yourself. So that's the first section of the 30 minutes. That may only take a few minutes when we first start here, but it'll end up taking 5 and 10 minutes as you learn more and more pieces. A lot of piano teachers use little jingles to memorize this. They'll use a mnemonic device and they'll say, "Every good boy does fine." That's how we memorize the lines of the treble clef. No, we don't. Don't do that. If you've done that in the past, and you know, it's hard to get away from that. We're going to retrain your brain to not do that anymore. We don't want to learn a jingle. We just want to learn what these are. Okay? There's only 24 of them. Little kindergartners can memorize 24 things, or when they memorize the alphabet, 26 letters. So you can memorize this. You don't need a mnemonic device to memorize these. Just learn what they are. And you'll really cut down on the time it takes you to learn a note. And that also cuts down, or that creates speed. Remember, sight reading is the speed at which we perceive. If you're going a little jingle every time, there's no speed there. It makes you slow. We're going to cut out that time with that mnemonic device, and we're just going to learn that the lines of the treble clef are E, G, B, D, and F, E. Also, feel free to pause your video. You don't have to keep up with me on this, okay? That's a great thing about video lessons. Going along, you have some trouble, pause the video, catch up, and then keep moving, okay? All right, top space, G. See why I call it the top space instead of the 4th space? Because if I say 4th, then you got to count to 4. If I just say top space, you say, "Oh, it's a top space." Immediately go to it. G. What's this one? Down 1 from G. It's good to know it's down 1 from G, but we also want to know it's on the next to the top line for left hand, which means it's an F. F. Okay? We're almost done. Remember, these pieces are not very long. I'm taking a long time in the video because I want you to get everything. I don't want to rush you and you to miss something. So I make them short so that it's an attainable goal. Okay? We're going to have lots and lots of little attainable goals, and that's going to give you a lot of confidence and be able to get where we're trying to get to. All right, a little more left hand to go. Right here. What do we got? Can you name it for me? Can you say it and then play it? It's E. Because it's in the 3rd space. And down, 2 counts. We know that. We know that a dotted half gets 3. Remember that? Dotted half gets 3. And we know that a whole note gets 4 counts. We can count those. We know those very well. What about an eighth note? This is a new unit of measure here. An eighth note, 1/8 note by itself is a black note colored in, and it has a flag on it. It looks something like that. You've seen that. It's an eighth note. Well, it gets 1/2 of a count. Okay, fractions. Oh, all right. 1/2 of a count. So it is quicker. It lasts less time than the quarter note we talked about over here. Okay? Now, if you have another eighth note with it, 2 eighth notes together, put a plus there, they equal 1 count, because 2 halves make a whole, right? So if you have 2 eighth notes, they equal 1 count. Well, many times you'll see eighth notes written, beamed together. So you'll see this kind of a thing. See that? 2 eighth notes, and they're beamed together. And they get 1 count, and they go twice as fast as the quarter note. Now the way we would count that is we would say, instead of, if we had a quarter note, we'd say 1, 2, 3. Well, if we add the syllable "and," we can count eighth notes and go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and see that? Changes. I'll say that again. When the left-hand chord changes, that's a good place to change the pedal, to clear it and come back down. Okay, when the chord changes, so you'd play it here. Normally it's just once a measure. See that? I have 1 chord per measure. Sometimes I have 2 chords a measure. So if you have down here where you have 2 chords a measure, you change it twice. But once per measure is the norm on this one. All right, let's go all the way through. 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. So F, A, C, E flat. You got to play the E flat with your 5th finger. And since it's on a black key, you got to slide in between the black keys. See, slide up in there. Slide your fingers in between. 1, 2, 3, and 5. So you won't play your 4th finger, but 1, 2, 3, 5. You can tremolo it. Remember how we learned to tremolo? If you want to tremolo that at the end, feel free. Now let's zoom out and hear the whole thing. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. us a roadmap and help us to understand music patterns and how chords work. And if we can understand that as well as read the spots off the page and have our note memory like we have at this point, we're just going to be unstoppable in our sight reading. Okay, so that's why I do this. Okay, here I've got all 4 of them in there, but I just want you to know this is called a 5/7 and the pattern that we use to play it. That's good enough for now. Okay, so this is what we got: B, D, F, and G in the left hand. In the right hand, we also have B, D, F, and G. Now the fingering is 5, 4, 2, 1. 5, 4, 2, 1. The right hand is 1, 2, 4, 5. So we don't use our middle fingers. There. It's going to be tough. I can't get my fingers to work. Keep trying. Keep trying. Push them all down except your middle finger. And then we go back to C. So what I want you to get from this is the pattern. 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1. Primary chords of the key of C.